Hello, welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Rylan, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2019 Honda CR-V EX. Now this is about the mid-trim of the pack when it comes to the model lineup of the CR-V. They start with the LX and work all the way up to the Touring. Now, in my mind, this is absolutely the best deal you can get for your money when it comes to pricing and the options you get. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the exterior of this vehicle, then take a look at the interior, and last but not least, give this 2019 Honda CR-V a test drive. Now, taking a look at the exterior of the CR-V, and right off the bat you notice for 2019 model year as well as the 2018, the look has changed from prior CR-Vs. It is now a little bit bigger and a little bit wider with a lower center of gravity compared to the older CR-Vs. Another thing I want to mention is the fact that all CR-V models of 2019 have a little button on the key fob itself that can turn on the car via remote start. So basically I just hold that button and the car will turn on automatically, which is a very, very nice touch, and you definitely don't see that on a lot of cars, especially at this price point. Another thing I want to mention for all you safety gurus out there is the fact that this CR-V earns a 5-star crash test rating conducted by multiple crash test companies. Now, taking a look at the front of the vehicle, and again, the aggressive characteristics carry over from the side. It comes standard on this trim level with HID headlights as well as fog lights, and I really love just the sportiness of the grille itself in the front. Now, the last feature I want to point out in the front is the fact that this CR-V, along with every model in 2019, comes equipped with daytime running lights, and these are full LED running lights and give the car a very modern and luxurious appearance on the road. Now, taking a look at the back of this 2019 CR-V, and we notice that the styling cues definitely carries to the back. It has a very tall appearance back here and a very wide appearance at that, making it look like this vehicle can hold a lot more cargo, which it can compared to the older versions. A couple noticeable features that the back end of this vehicle has is a rear view camera, which is standard for all 2019 vehicles sold in the United States, along with these really nice LED brake lights. Okay folks, now jumping into the interior of this vehicle, and the first thing you notice is just how comfortable the seats are. They are not extremely squishy, and in fact are on the firm side, which is really nice because usually squishy seats, they just wear out way too quick, and over long periods of time you kind of sink in and it kind of ruins the posture of how you would normally sit. So the firmness of the seats, but still plush, is very, very, very nice. And again, this vehicle, for being an SUV, still has a bit of side bolstering to it. One of the first things that catch your eye when you jump into the interior is this 3-spoked leather wrapped steering wheel. It has piano black accents and silver trim around the buttons on the steering wheel themselves. Now, taking a closer look at the steering wheel, and we notice on the right side the button layout is for the safety features like lane keep assist and the automatic cruise control, which will automatically brake for you if it senses that you're too close to a vehicle. You can actually set the parameters in 3 different modes on this vehicle of following lane. Now, along the left side of the steering wheel is buttons for safety systems such as lane departure warning as well as front collision system warning, so those can be turned off or on with the touch of a button. So if you do find them intrusive, you don't have to drive with them. Now, upon turning on the car, the first thing you're greeted with is this all digital display. Looks very, very futuristic, and I love that they have the tachometer just loud and clear right on the top of the screen itself. Okay, so I've been sitting in this cabin for a while, getting a little comfortable, touching and feeling a lot of things, and the one thing I can note is that there's soft touch materials everywhere on this vehicle. Every place that you would set your arm or touch, such as the steering wheel, center console, and even just the armrest on the doors themselves, is all soft touch material. Now, glancing over the center control stack, and we see a brilliant 8-inch touchscreen display. Now, one of my favorite features about this infotainment screen is the fact that there is these touch capacitive buttons along the side. So there are shortcuts that are always going to be there in the vehicle and makes everything very easy to operate. So if you want to go to your phone, it's really easy to do so, just one touch of a button. If you want to go to audio, again, just one touch of a button, along with controlling either the night or day functionality of the screen. So if you're at night, it'll dim the screen, or if you're in the day, it'll make the screen have a different appearance and have more contrast so it's easier to read. Now, right below the infotainment screen, you have all your climate control functionality, and this car does come equipped with dual climate zones in this EX trim, which is very nice. They can be controlled, your temp can be controlled from these knobs on the left and the right side. This button just pulls up the climate functionality on the touchscreen itself. So again, another dedicated button for the infotainment screen, so you don't have to fumble around pressing multiple buttons to get to a certain category. And then you have your electric parking brake along with your standard looking gear shifter, really nice. It's positioned at an angle, so it's very easy to get to, and overall just a great ergonomic design. Now the headliner in this car is actually a nice gray color, which is very good to see rather than your traditional kind of tan, easy to get dirty headliner that you see on a lot of vehicles. So this is a gray look. It actually looks really visually pleasing, and it's not going to get as dirty. Now there's definitely a lot of places for storage in the CR-V, as you might expect. Along the center console, there is a nice little spot that has a rubber coating around it for change or your car keys or whatever it may be, but the rubber coating that's on the bottom of it definitely will help things stick and not slide around when you're moving on the road, so that's good to see. You have two drink holders in the center console as well, adequately sized. And then you have another tray. The tray itself actually slides over, revealing a bigger storage compartment that you can hold just a ton of stuff, a couple water bottles, whatever it may be. Now, along with the heated side mirrors that come equipped as standard on this EX trim level, we also get as standard heated seats. These are three-way heated seats for the front and the passenger, and they do a really good job at just keeping you nice and toasty. I will say the speaker system in this EX trim level is 8 speakers. It's about 180 watts, and it does a great job at getting really loud but still maintaining clarity. So you do have tweeter speakers, and as well as a center speaker up here on the dash. Now this EX does have an optional sunroof, which is one touch capability, so just one touch and the sunroof will retract, as well as having a sunglass holder that doubles up, which is a really cool feature, to a little mirror. Essentially, you can see everything that's happening in the back seats. So all your passengers, whether you have kids, adults, and you need to give them a little checkup to make sure no one's doing any hoonigan things back there. I couldn't see what was happening behind me because I had to focus on the road, and my kid threw a freaking slice of pizza under the seat, and 2 months later I just found it. Well, guess what? With this mirror, that's never gonna happen. Now, of course, we have to take a look at the back seats because this is a small SUV, so it's very important that it's comfortable back here and there's enough headspace and leg room. One of the first things that I really appreciate about the back seats of this vehicle is the fact that the trim from the front extends to the trim in the back as well, so you get that nice wood touch that you get in the front, as well as that aluminum accents along the door panel themselves. What's really great about the positioning of the seats is they actually kind of sit at an angle, so the top of the seat is a little bit higher than the bottom of the seat. So basically, when you actually sit in the seat, again, it's very subtle, but you're kind of angled more in a relaxed position, more of a reclined position that you don't get on a lot of vehicles. So I'm glad they kind of reclined the seat itself a little bit, so it makes it that much more comfortable for people who sit in the back, especially for those who are a little bit taller. It's going to give you a little bit more headspace as well. And I'm, again, 5'11", and I have, I want to say, around 4 to 5 inches of headspace, so a little less than the front seats, but that is to be expected, and it's still plenty. So if you're 6'2", you're not really gonna have an issue sitting back here, again, with the headspace. The leg room itself, this seat in the front is practically all the way back, and I still have a good 4 inches of leg room. Another thing that I'm glad to see in the back of this CR-V is the fact that there are air vents in the back here. That should be standard on all SUVs, and unfortunately it's not in some. Along with the air vents, you also have 2 USB ports in the back seats as well, just right down below from the air vents itself. So not only do you get the 2 USB ports in the front, as well as 2 conventional 12-volt outlets in the front, but you get 2 USB ports in the back itself. Now, just like the front, the doors themselves on the bottom have little cutouts for water bottles, as well as just separate storage compartments. Okay, so getting this 2019 CR-V out on the road, and my initial impressions is just the overall comfortability of this vehicle. Now, along with the driving dynamics themselves. So when I go over these big speed bumps right now, it soaks up the bumps relatively well, and the cabin is definitely isolated. There's not much wind noise, and there's no tire noise whatsoever. And that is definitely surprising in a car that's under $30,000. Now, another great thing that this vehicle has is the fact that this infotainment screen is all digital. Now, while I'm driving along this road right now, it's really great to see the speed I'm doing in big digital letters. Very easy to read, along with the tachometer itself, which is very reminiscent of a Lamborghini Huracan. Now again, the turbocharger is only fitted on the EX trim level and above. So the LX trim level of this vehicle comes with the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder that does not have a turbocharger. This means that you won't get as good of MPG as you would with the turbocharger, along with not getting that initial grunt. Okay guys, so giving it some speed again, and just silky smooth on the shifting. You really can't even tell that the vehicle's shifting at all. Has that initial torque that you would expect from a turbocharged engine, which is really nice. And the fact is, it's just a well insulated car. Okay, now taking the vehicle on the highway, and I'm happy to report just the same things that I've been talking about on the roads themselves. It's insulated. I'm already getting a lane departure warning from some of these safety systems that's equipped with this EX version of the CR-V, which is really nice. It vibrates the steering wheel, but it's not too intrusive, and you have that functionality to turn it off if you don't like that. So when you're preoccupied with other things, it can keep you still attentive on the road and minimize the risk of an accident. Overall, the whole dynamics of this vehicle is just very smooth, insulated, and has the right amount of power. Even at freeway speeds, when I put my foot down on the pedal, I still get a good amount of pick-me-up, definitely enough to pass people on the road. So that's a good peace of mind, because you never want to have, you know, too slow of a vehicle to where you can't pass people in a hurry. Okay guys, well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. I really hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Make sure if you did enjoy the video, you hit that subscribe button. Really helps me out, and I appreciate it. And again, I want to give a big thank you to Mossy Honda of Lemon Grove for letting me come out and film this awesome Honda CR-V. Now, with all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.